Okay, hello everyone. It has been a hectic day covering Diddy's trial. Okay, so we're going to be covering it every day. So, anyway, for those of you who missed the morning broadcast and the follow up this afternoon, so let me just give you some of the updates. So, first off, they had two witnesses testify today. Okay, one of them was the security guard who's now a police officer, but this is the security guard who was at the hotel where Diddy beat Cassie in the hallway. And he talked about how Diddy offered him money so that he would keep it to himself so he wouldn't say anything. He also turns out to be the person who recorded it on his cell phone. And he says that he did so because he wanted to take this home to show it to his wife. Also, there was a Daniel Phillip, who was a male escort, who says that he was paid anywhere from $500 to $7,000 to have relations with Cassie and Diddy. He talked about how Cassie would call and he and Cassie basically exchanged phone numbers, and Cassie called the company that he worked for supposedly and hired him. Now, he also talks about having gone to Cassie and Diddy's homes on several occasions, and also talked about an incident where Diddy was dragging Cassie by the hair. He was upset because Cassie took too long to come when he called her. Okay, she was trying to, take things or trying to close out her computer because her private information was on there, but Diddy couldn't wait. So he told her, come when I call you, don't wait or whatever. And the guy says he heard slapping, like Diddy was slapping her around, and Cassie was screaming, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. She runs out of the room and she doesn't have any clothing on and she jumps in his lap. Okay, clearly in distress. And then also, it was reported that Diddy actually made Cassie have one of the S workers urinates in her mouth. Okay, how disgusting is that? Also, the witness talked about being offered Molly and other illegal substances, and basically said that Diddy also took a photo of his ID. So this is basically, uh, to keep him, keep track of him and to make sure that he doesn't say anything that he didn't tell anyone. Because why else would Diddy want his ID? Just letting him know that, look, I know your name, I know where you live, I have all of your information. So if you even think about telling somebody, you know the rest. Okay. So the defense is trying to paint this as just domestic violence, but I don't think that's going to fly because, like I told you all before, it would depend on what the S workers have to say, how they would testify as, whether they would say Cassie was complicit or not. But it looks like so far, Cassie wasn't complicit, according to the witness, Daniel Phillips. Okay, Phillip. He's basically saying that Cassie was trying to get away from Diddy, and then he did say that he asked her why you're staying with this guy. And Cassie said it's okay. But clearly it wasn't okay. Okay. I mean, him beating her like that in front of an escort or an S worker, I mean, that just goes to show that Diddy just didn't give a darn. Okay. And anytime something didn't go his way immediately, he resorted to violence. So this is all painting the picture that Cassie was exactly fearful for her life, okay, and that she stayed because she was coerced and afraid. And of course, Diddy was holding money over her head as well as her career. Okay, so this is just in the first day of testimony. So you can only imagine what we're going to hear as the trial progresses. Now, they've adjourned for the day. They already have cross-examined the prosecution is called their first two witnesses, and then the defense cross-examined both of them, which was the security guard, who's now a police officer, as well as one of the S workers by the name of Daniel Phillip. And then on tomorrow, I think that they'll probably continue with Phillip first, and then Cassie's probably going to testify because I got word that Cassie's supposed to be the third person to testify, and this is going to take some days. Okay, this is going to take days because 10 years worth of details that she's going to be divulging. This is all getting real juicy, you guys. So please stay tuned. Okay. I'm going to be locked in, give you all the information. I might even have to take a trip to New York because this is all getting so salacious. All right. So, anyway, with that all being said, just wanted to give you the updates and just think about how disgusting Diddy is. Making someone urinate in somebody's mouth, that's just all so sick. It just speaks to the level of depravity that Diddy was willing to engage in just to get what he wanted. And also, they mentioned in the Washington Post, they mentioned the Bacchanalias that I told you all about when I said Diddy got the freak offs. He got that idea likely from the Roman god Bacchus, because I told you the insider told me, like a year ago, I think it was, I don't know if it's been that long, somewhere close to a year ago, that Diddy was having these bacchanalias, which is something that they had back in the days of ancient Rome. Okay, so that all being said, honey, I think Diddy's going down. I don't know how they're going to get around this, and the defense trying to paint Cassie as someone being violent after all these other people have spoken about Diddy's violence and how Diddy tried to pay them off, and then taking the ID of the S worker just so that he can make sure or have him threatened, have him afraid to even say anything. Yeah, them trying to paint Cassie as being violent herself or fighting Diddy, that's not going to fly, because even if she did fight Diddy, the prosecution is going to paint that as if she was trying to fight back. Okay, she was trying to defend herself. I mean, there is too much dirt on Diddy, honey, for that to even fly. I don't know what they're going to do. It looks like their defense strategy may need to change course. Okay, so anyway, love you all to life. You all stay tuned, and I will see you all bright and early in the morning when the trial resumes at 9:15. Peace.